Okay, so I've been at it again. This time round, I've picked out the pieces for a Ninjago set, which is Master Wu's dragon. You can see it there. Quite an interesting looking dragon for the Ninjago sort of sets. It's a builder head rather than just a plastic formed head. So this one's got a few other pieces in it that don't really interest me too much, but I think I've managed to find most of the pieces for it. And this is set 70734. This is now a retired set, so you can't get it anymore. It comes with 5 minifigures, which apparently 2 of them only came out in this set. I already made the minifigures up to make sure I had them all right. So obviously Master Wu here. I'm not too sure these are ghost ninjas or something like that. So I'm pretty sure it's these 2 that are the rare and only in this set minifigures. I've seen this one here on eBay at the moment going for around about $20 or $19 something, and I'm not interested in selling them, but yeah, there's obviously part of the rare minifigures to try and collect. Now, as you can see, I said there was 5 minifigures. The dog here doesn't actually count as a minifigure. Unfortunately, if people know my channel and have been watching what I've been doing over the years, I'm actually doing woodwork and resin work and all that as well. And earlier on in the piece, I sort of messed around with a few resin pieces and see what I could do with resin. And looking for the 5th one, I've tend to find that I've set him in resin. This is one of my pieces of woodwork and resin work to see how we go. And I seem to have picked this one and turned him into Han Solo. So he's now permanently embedded in resin. Now, he hasn't got the right helmet on because I managed to find the helmet for him. So there's the helmet there. So I've got the helmet for him, but luckily he's not one of the rare ones, and you can still buy the body for this one, so I can still get the body. I don't know if that's the right head. I think it's the right head for it. So yes, unfortunately he won't be part of the set, so I'm now stuck with a spare helmet, but that's all right. But these are the 4 minifigures that come with it, and then you get the dog as well. Now this is quite a substantial set. As you can see, it's taken me quite a while to find all these pieces. There's a lot of small, intricate pieces. And one of the dramas I had was, if you look over here, there's a bluey colour. So you got the black here, and then you got the blue next to it. On the camera, you can really see that blue. Unfortunately, to my eyes here, not through the camera, they look identical. You can very, very distinctly see that that's a darker colour in through the camera, but to my eyes they look exactly the same. So when I've sorted all my parts out, these ones here I've chucked into the black rather than into the blue section. So to find this, I accidentally was doing some filming of the actual sorting out, and I noticed that you can see these really clearly through the camera. So off camera they look black, almost black. When they're sitting side by side, you can actually see a slight difference between the 2, but when they're off, then no, I can't see it. So I've actually had to go and find these ones through my set with the camera just to find them. Now, there's a whole pile of just your normal Ninjago or your dragon style ones in here. This one here has some strange ones in it though. It's got croissants. And the croissants you can actually see on the back of the dragon's head here. So I think they're going to be classed as his horns or something like that. And then there's double barrel miniguns. They're down on the back of the head as well. You can see them just inside here. So there's a lot of interesting little parts on this one. So we go across, there's this one here. These took me a while to find. because apparently that's called sand blue. Sitting side by side the grey, you can see the distinct colour difference. When they're on their own, they just look grey. So yet again, through the camera, you can see the distinct colour change. There's handlebars in this set. There's all sorts of weird stuff in this one. There's a lot of gold, which is quite easy because I have all my gold separated and stuff like that. Then you have your transparent side of things and all that. There's even a little teapot. Now I've had to do a bit of a substitute. So with those blue ones, I couldn't find all 6 of them. So I've actually substituted. I've got 1 extra one, so I had 5, but I substituted 2 of them because I've seen where they go, and I can actually put the black ones in and they'll look quite nice where they're going to go. They're only going to go into the actual cart anyway, so I'm mainly after the dragon, but there's the cart that shoots these little ghost things out. I can't find the ghost at all. It's a bit disappointing because he looks pretty cool. And there's this thing they call the ice cream cone, which he hangs onto here. That just holds onto his flame sword, so he can still hang onto the flame sword anyway. But if I eventually find that and the ghost, they'll get put back in. And if I happen to find the other blue part, they're all easy to put back in, sort of thing. But my main goal is to do the dragon. It's a 2-book part, as you can see down here. It's 2 books. So the first book, same picture on the front, but this one here is going to be the cart and the shrine or whatever it is, making all that up, and the little mini figures and stuff like that. And the second book is actually making the dragon up. So lots of interesting parts. I think it's just over 500 pieces, I think 520 or something like that. So it'd be an interesting build, and like I say, it's a decent dragon. And I just want to basically get all my Ninjago dragons all made up so that they're on display rather than all packed away. Lots of different browns in this one. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colours of brown. So there's lots of different colours in this one. Alright, so I'll set up the time lapse and we'll get into it. Okay, so that was book 1. Book 1 consisted of this and this. So we've got the shrine. I'm assuming it's a shrine or some sort of temple thing, doesn't really say. And I did happen to put the weapons on this guy, even though he he's set in resin. And we set the weapons up for this guy. He's the one who's meant to be going with the cart, so I don't know how he's meant to go with the cart while he's hanging onto his weapons. I suppose put the weapons in the cart and then run along. So, and the temple or shrine is meant to have the dog with it, I guess protecting in there, sort of thing. Now, the cart itself has these little ghost plates, which you can see one in here. They go up inside the little slot there. You can fit 2 in there, even though it shows 3 in the book. And then you can shoot by pushing on this grey part. It sort of half ejects it out there. You can see it coming out down there. And then the next shot will be, and it disappears underneath the cupboard. Awesome. So it does shoot quite well. A bit high though. So the next one, oh, there we go. Shot the dog. And there's a little thing there. Now it's a bit strange, very front heavy. and this thing's not actually clipped up, so it can just tip over at any stage. I've still got 2 of these. I guess they give you a spare one in case they go under the cupboards. Wheels around quite nicely, but that's just a little Ninjago cart that they can pull around. Get them out of the way. Reloading them is just a matter of finding the slot at the front there, double clicking them in there, getting the other one, that one just follows after it. Like that. And it's ready to go. There's tension on there. There's meant to be a saucepan in here, but I can't find that, and it's not a big deal for me. I'll probably end up ordering one eventually. So yeah, that's the cart. Put that off to one side, and then there's the temple shrine, not too sure, and apparently these are meant to shoot by pushing on them. There you go. Bit boring really for those. They don't really shoot that far, and I guess they're only meant to shoot into the middle of the temple. You just slot them back in again. As for that, it's all flexible, so they can all be positioned. All the fence pieces can be positioned. I still don't know why Lego tend to make you make parts of it. I don't know if you saw in the hyperlapse, but I had to make all the underparts of these first, and then had to put the fence palings on afterwards. I would have just liked to make the whole thing on, then clip them together, and that'd be done. But a few nice little details into it. It's very fiddly and small, but I guess that's part of the set. So that's book 1, which is Temple Shrine. The dog, the minifigures. There's nothing really on the back there. That's basically it. So I guess we're now on to the main feature, or the bit that I'm actually interested in, and start making Master Wu's dragon, because that thing looks pretty sick. So we'll get into that, and hopefully I'll have all the pieces there without having to stop. Because the majority of those pieces, the black, the blues and all of that, all disappeared into those little things. So let's give it a go. Well, there you go. What can I say? I have to admit, that does look pretty cool. I am very happy that I've built this one, and it will go onto the display with all the other ones. I would love to say that this was just a straight up easy build. Nothing went wrong or anything like that, but I don't know if you've picked it up in the hyperlapse. They're pretty good that you don't pick up all the little mistakes and stuff like that. But going through, of course, where Master Wu is sitting on in the bottom underneath here, I didn't bother pulling those 2 pieces out because I knew they were in there and they were a bit of a pain to get out. But on doing the instructions, I worked out I had one of these awkward blue that look black pieces left over, and I could not for the life of me find it in the set. That's why I substituted the black one underneath there with the black one. Little to my knowledge, and I probably should have looked right through the book, there's one of these blue ones underneath the two light brown ones in there. Now, one thing Lego seems to like doing, and it's something that actually I don't understand, it sort of bugs me a little bit, is the fact that they use a weird coloured shape, a weird coloured piece in inconspicuous places where you're never going to see them. Stuff like the little blue ones that are underneath here that take forever to find. I mean, when you buy the set, it's okay. But when you're actually looking through boxes and heaps of different pieces, which is what Lego is designed to do, to try and find these tiny little weird coloured pieces that are not actually going to be shown on the model. I mean, that's the colour of them there. I can understand these ones need to be that colour. Awesome. But the ones underneath there that you're never going to see, or the ones that are inside the actual body, they're actually just part of the build, why can't they just be a grey or a white or a black, which are the most common colours that you do? This blue, I've never seen it other than in this set. I think there's another set maybe, and it's probably a Ninjago that has them in there as well. I don't know, that might be very common in Star Wars ones, but I don't have that many Star Wars ones at the moment. So that's one of my little gripes with this set. Well, with Lego realistically, not this set, just Lego in general. When they do the books and make these things up, why go to the extent of putting something really pretty sort of colour and sticking it inside where you're never going to see it? The other hurdle I came across was these. Who would have known without showing it in the parts book? And if I get the parts catalogue open, let's have a look. Where is that piece? There it is. And look, there it is. From what you're showing, yes, perfect. Not a drama. But when you turn it over, this one has a cross in it underneath. So it will never go onto there, which is meant to have the hole in it. Which if we have a look, that has a cross on it as well. So I've just shoved that onto a corner. So I need to find another one. Oh, dearie me. So if we go over to this one and take this one off, look, it has the little hole underneath it to go on there properly. So I think I might have just jagged sticking that one on there. So now I have to go looking for another one. Oh well. So in this, why can't they show it, as I've said before, with maybe having it that way around and having a picture right next to it upside down showing it whether it has the cross or whether it has the circle in it, so you can actually put it on there. That would be nice. Now I got unstuck with another one again. Now this is my problem, realistically. I picked these ones up. It was getting late. I picked these ones up, but I needed the other ones around. So I needed these under here. So the studs needed to be underneath so they can stud onto things. Not the stud on the top like this one is. And I managed to find a whole bunch of these and had them mixed in with the other ones that were actually, I don't know if you can, I don't think you can actually see them, but there's one up inside there that's hanging down so that they actually stud downwards and actually hold on rather than the studs on the top. So that was my mistake. So basically it's this way around, but that piece is down here, not on the top. So it's total opposite way around. But they look very similar. I can find them in here. Where are they? Up there. Get that glare out of the way. Yeah, so instead of that, I picked up that. That's my fault. But one of the things I had to go looking for realistically. But on top of all of that, it's a cool looking dragon. Very cool looking dragon. The only change I would make, besides the ones that I've just mentioned, which are actually to do with the build and all that sort of stuff, is I don't understand why these face together. I thought the white side of this would face to the front. I may even do it. All you have to do is switch those two legs around so the white's facing forward. So when you look from the front, that's white and that's white, rather than white and the sand brown sort of thing. It's just a matter of popping the legs off and switching them over to the other side. It's not exactly a major thing to do. Might even do it and I'll carry on with the video. So hang on a second. So there we are. That's what I've done. I haven't even looked at it myself yet. I just quickly did it. Took a couple of seconds. So when you're looking from the front, so when it's in a display, I think that looks a bit more finished. So the whites are all facing forward, and then when he's heading away, the sands are all facing back. So it actually looks like it's in flow, realistically. Now I'd have to say this one's a lot more solid than the other dragons. Everything's very solid for it to stand and all that sort of stuff, so it's quite a good display one. Temple, I missed these two swords in the first lot. I don't know how I missed that. Sometimes I just skip over things. It's one of my issues. I've hooked him onto there, so now you can push the trolley around. Got his rake and everything in the trolley, so he's all ready to go. Unfortunately, this one's still stuck in there. Not much I can do about that one. So all I've got left to do now is go find another one of these with the actual hole on the bottom. Looks like that, but in gold. Won't take me long to find. I'll keep my gold separates. So yeah, that's the build of 70734. Like I said before, it's a rare set, or retired set. Don't know how rare it is. And now to go into the display area. I'll have all three pieces hopefully in the same area so they can all hang together. Master Wu's dragon.